All right, everyone. What you are seeing on your screen right now is page 531, lesson 24, session 3. We're going to continue on with this idea about comparing fractions. Please take a look up at the top where my pencil eraser is pointing, where it says create. You can predict what we're going to do here simply by the word. It says to draw an area model or number line to show 5/8. Explain how to find a lesser fraction with the same denominator and give an example. All right, we can do that. So friends, you can see very clearly here that I have done a couple of models for you. I've done area models and I've done a number line. Now, let's take the area model first. So you can see here that I have drawn, we're going to go back to pizza, or it could be a pie, whatever makes you happy. I've drawn an area model here with 8 pieces, right? Why 8? Because the whole that we're speaking of is broken up into 8 pieces, and that is told to us by the denominator. So this is going to be our 5/8 model. And then we need to find a lesser fraction. And we need to model that out. So we're going to do that first. Let us take the 5/8 that we know. So once you model this, what are we going to do simply? We're going to acknowledge 5 of the 8 pieces of pizza. So there's one, and there's one, and there's one. It's 3 pieces. And then we'll do this one. That's 4, right? And then here's this one. So this pizza up here, this is our model for 5/8. That's our 5/8 model. And so what we want to do is we want to find a fraction that's less than 5/8. So friends, less than 5/8 would be, if it's the same denominator, anything less than 5. 4/8, 3/8, 2/8, 1/8. Anything less than 5/8 will be a lesser fraction. Okay, anything less than 5/8 is going to be a lesser fraction because you have 2 wholes with the same number of pieces or the same denominator. So this again is 5/8. Awesome. We need a lesser fraction. So we could say, like, here's a piece, and here's a piece, and here's a piece. We're going to call that 3/8. That's clearly less area covered than 5/8. Clearly, that this is a lesser or smaller fraction. So we're going to call this 3/8. That's one way to model, right? This is an area model. I'm going to give you a minute to finish that up. And then we're going to go to a number line, a number line. So here you can see is the number line. And it starts at 0, ends at 1, because we are dealing with what? 1 whole. But instead of an area model, now we're making a line as a model. Again, starts at 0, ends at 1. We are breaking up this model into 8 pieces. On a line, we are going to create 8 tick marks, right? 8 pieces still, but on a line this time. So we can see again 1/8, and that's comparable, to here. And then 2/8 here, 3/8 here, and so on. 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and of course our 8/8. That's one whole because the numerator and the denominator are the same. That's one whole. One whole. So the two fractions that we're looking at here are the 5/8. Here's the 5/8. And we need a lesser fraction. We need a lesser fraction. Lesser fraction is going to be, of course, to the left. Anything left of 5/8 is less. Anything exactly 5/8 is equivalent. Anything to the right of 5/8 is greater than. So again, to the left, less than, exactly the same, equivalent. Anything to the right, greater than. We were asked less than. So anything to the left of 5/8 is going to be less than. And of course, I modeled 3/8. So there you go. And I say here that any fraction to the left of 5/8 on a number line, such as 3/8, is less than 5/8. Could I have used 4/8 as well? Sure. Could I have used 2/8? Could I have used 1/8? Yes. All less than 5/8. All right. So again, area model, number line. I'm going to give you another few seconds to get those notes written down. And then we're going to keep on going. All right. And here's question 2. Question 2 on page 531. And it says to justify. Here we go. Jace and Leanna each bake a loaf of bread. Jace cuts his loaf into halves, and Leanna cuts her loaf into thirds. Jace says their loaves show that 1/2 is less than a third. Leanna says, no, they don't. Who's correct? And we need to explain or justify. So again, Jace and Leanna bake bread. Jace cuts his loaf into 2 pieces. Leanna cuts her loaf into 3. Jace says that their loaves show that 1/2 is less than a third. Leanna says, Who's right? So friends, Leanna is correct. Leanna is correct. Why? Because these wholes have to be the same size to compare fractions. So again, friends, we go back to that same sized wholes. If you do not have same sized wholes, you cannot do the comparison. Leanna, again, is correct because these loaves clearly are not the same size. You can't compare 1/2 of this loaf to 1/2 of this one. They're not the same. All right, let's take a look at number 3. And it says we need to do some more explaining, right? So we're going to talk about Mario and Maylin. Here we go. Mario paints 2/6 of a wall in his bedroom. Maylin paints 2/4 of a wall in her bedroom. The two walls are the same size. Oh, it's important. Two walls, yeah, same size, perfect. Explain how you know who paints more of their wall. Explain how you know. So friends, again, we've got numerators that are the same, but denominators that aren't. Remember what we talked about yesterday. The bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So let's take a look. Now, each paints the same number of parts of the wall. We can agree to that. There's 2 parts here and 2 parts here. But Mario breaks up his wall into 6 parts. Maylin breaks up her wall into 4. We know that 6 are smaller than 4ths. So 2/6 is less than 2/4. Maylin paints more. And so again, friends, we can even take a look at our fraction tiles as well. We can take a look at here if you want it modeled. Here is 2/6. Here is 2/4. You can clearly see that 2/4 is more space. Again, friends, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. The bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. Here is 2/6, here is 2/4. 2/4 is clearly more space. All right. So again, each paints the same number of parts. 6 are smaller than 4ths. So 2/6 is less. Maylin is painting more wall. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to finish that page up. And then we're going to come back together briefly.